Hi, welcome to Dip into the Ink, the show where I and or I guess dive into a comic and just praise it, talk shit about it. We just dive deep into the pages. I'm very excited to have a special guest on today's episode. My broken headphones. Just kidding. More importantly, we have Lewis on the channel today. Thank you for being here, Lewis. I appreciate it.
Mhm. Well, I was kinda forced to be here
Yeah, I have
after weeks of nagging, so this was the only way to get you to shut up.
I have his whole family hostage, and he was just like, "Yeah, you can off him off. I don't care." And then I was like, "I have your dog hostage," and he was like, "Oh my god." There's little Kermit. I love little Kermit. I'm suddenly more interested. But yeah, welcome. Today we are going to be talking about Titans Beast World. I'm excited to have you on because a lot of my guests aren't comic people, and you are comic people. That's one of my favorite things about
Mhm.
it. So, what are just your general thoughts on the Titans?
Um, I like them, but I didn't like them in this. I didn't
Oh,
like
interesting.
yeah, I didn't like the way Raven was drawn. She very much looked like Annie, like, the musical. Her hair was just like I was like, "Why did they do that to her
It's
hair?"
it's very like Hot Topic esque. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm just like, "No, I didn't like it." Like, it I'm like, "Okay, Beast Boy's emo all of a sudden now, what's going on?"
We're,
Uh,
we're gonna dive into all of that, but you're very we're gonna dive into it as we go through the comic. But for the Titans themselves, you're kind of like on them, right?
well, I used to like him a lot because I used to like that optimism, but I guess as I got older, I got more cynical, and
Mm-hmm.
I like I like the Batman stories, it's like Batman's always paranoid, he's his own worst enemy kinda thing, I'm like, "I like that, don't give me that fucking" if I want cheesy shit like that, I'll read a Superman comic, you know?
I mean, you are like a self-declared Red Hood stan.
Yeah.
Like he's your boy, so that makes
The
100% sense. Okay, but we're back, baby. We're here. Titans Beast World, very exciting.
For
Uh,
starters,
mhm.
after reading it, Nightwing doesn't need it he why is he front and center?
He's the money
This
maker. He's the money maker. That's why they
This
call
is
him
this is a Beast Boy fucking Raven
Mhm.
story. They should be friends, and he should be in the back. Like, I don't get why that's the thing, you know?
No, the rule of DC Comics: if you have a Bat family member, they need to be in the front. That's the rule.
I guess, but, like, I'm like, "Fuck, this boy, like, had, like, 5 words to say this whole 40-page issue."
And you know what? I was kind of into it because he doesn't have much to add here. He's just kind of like, oh, what's
He's
going
just
on?
there.
Uh huh.
He's the fucking nah, I don't wanna say he's a quarterback. He's the guy in the huddle that just says, "Break," and then they all go and do their play. Like, that was his thing. That was
He
it.
got benched. He's just yelling
Mhm.
shit from the side.
Yeah, exactly.
And when they're in the
Okay.
locker room, he's just like, fuck, if I was quarterback, I would have fucking made that play.
Like, if I was there,
Hmm.
I'd have, Gar up front,
Hmm.
and then I would have Raven where Gar is and keep
Hmm.
Cyborg exactly where he's at. I
Yeah.
think that's how you would do it.
Yeah, because they're kind of like the three biggest, and Starfire, I feel, but those
Oh,
three
yeah.
are definitely the biggest. But first cover, Titans Beast World, very exciting. We go to the first page where this
I thought that
redheaded
was Wally.
guy. Yeah, you know what? If you don't know what's going on in the Titans world, I wouldn't blame you. But it's this guy. He's leader of a church. He's like, "Oh, the end is nigh." You know, classic villain speech. And I'll tell you and our audience that aren't reading Titans, there's this bad guy. It's called the Church of Blood, Brother Blood, whatever. They rebranded and now they're called the Church of Eternity. This is their new leader, and they're still evil, but they're trying to be like, "Oh, we're not evil." Like, but
The
it's really like,
conscientiously evil.
yeah.
Did you ever see that, did you see Harley Quinn, the new season where
I didn't
that's
watch the new
Poison
season.
Oh, okay, really quick, just to, like, derail. That's, she becomes spoiler alert, she becomes the leader of, like, the Legion of Doom, and she's like, "We're gonna be conscientiously evil, so we're only gonna target oil rigs, and we're gonna be eco-terrorists." That was the whole thing. Anyways, that
I
has nothing to do
respect
with this.
that. I respect that. But yeah, no, they're like, "Oh, we're doing for good." But then it's this whole monologue, and we
I did like
see.
this,
Mhm.
the tower they did with the, right where it's, like, New York Square or something, that was cool.
Uh-huh. That was very
That
cool. I like showing all the different people like eyes are on this.
Mhm.
And you know, you
This
get
is
to
just the
see
Church of Scientology.
Yeah, it's just Scientology. That's Tom Cruise, red haired Tom Cruise. He's so basically their whole stake is that they're like the planet's fucked. We're gonna get a bunch of rich people and fly out, which is
Mhm.
it's that idea is floating around today. So we cut over to the next page. They're talking about how they're going to the Church of Eternity. They're going to one of Saturn's moons. But we cut over touchdown, greatest hands, and they're doing this whole thing. And then we get our credit page, two astronauts, Titans Beast World by Tom Taylor, Ivan Reese, penciler, Danny Miki, inker, Brad Anderson, colorist, and they have a whole squad. What's your thoughts on Tom Taylor? Because he can be very divisive on the internet for some
I like Tom. I like him.
reason.
I've never really this was like the only main world story
Mm-hmm.
I've read. Didn't care for this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um but I like one of my favorite storylines, even though it's only like one volume right now, is Dark Knights of Steel. I
Mm-hmm.
love Dark Knights of Steel.
Oh yeah.
I haven't even finished reading all of Deceased, but I love Deceased. Thought it
Mm-hmm.
was really, really good. I have thoughts on his Marvel run he did, but I understand that was kind of cut short. So I kind of give him like I give him some leeway with that. But overall, I like his off-world story. I think he's really good. If
Mm-hmm.
you say, "Hey Tom, go make a world, go do your thing." And like this is like I said, I like him as a whole, but this is his first like mainline issue that I've read that affects I was gonna say 626 that affects like the main DC continuity.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What is the mainline do they have a name for their universe?
I don't. But we're back here. I think. What's your thoughts on the art so far of this thing? Because sometimes the facial expressions just look so weird to me.
It
Because I
looks
like the
cool.
art, but sometimes the facial expressions just look off to me. I don't know what it is.
When it's stuff like this, when it's like throwaway
Mm-hmm.
characters, I don't really care. I'm like, you get the point
Yeah.
across, and like they're astronauts, they're in space.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's like give me the meat. Like it's cool. These characters literally just serve a purpose. That's it, and we're never
Yeah.
gonna see them again.
You know what? Now that you say that, and your comment about how Raven looks earlier, I think it might just be my issue with how Raven looks. So we'll get to that because I'm just we see a panel of her later. We'll dig into it, but she just looks so weird.
Uh,
They're on this moon. They're looking for something else, and we go full Ripley alien shit. It's a
that was
giant
cool.
temple. I did enjoy this reveal, but they're so stupid. It's just it's just comic book nonsense. Where let's go check out the temple. No, the moment I see a temple on an alien moon, I'm leaving. You cannot convince me. I'm sorry. But we keep going and they're like, oh, check out the temple and broadcast my voice to the moon. And we get some alien language in the corner. Next
What would have
page.
oh
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
No, go. What
what
was
would
it?
have been cool right here because
Mm-hmm.
the next page, Starfire
Mm-hmm.
is like, oh, he's speaking like my native tongue.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been cool to get like a translation after that was established.
Yeah, like when people speak in other languages, they have like little hyphens at the bottom saying something else.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to know exactly what
Mm-hmm.
this motherfucker's saying.
But that's
Like
part of the mystery.
that's true, but I think that would have been cool, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So we cut over to the next page. One of the things I love in the world is just heroes hanging out. So I love seeing all the Titans hanging out. I think it's funny that half of them are in costumes and half of them aren't.
Hmm.
But they are watching the.
I didn't really
Mhm.
give this panel too much attention until right now.
Yeah,
Like,
I
so
just
yeah,
like
they're
them
all just kind of
relaxing.
vibing. I
I
guess
want to
that's
put some shoes
the
on Gar. I need Gar to wear some shoes.
I guess that's like the Bruce the Batman effect on Nightwing where it's like you
Oh
always have to
yeah.
be ready. So that does make sense that him and Diana what fuck
It's
what's her name?
Donna. Donna. It's okay.
Her and him and Donna are the only two like ready to
Hmm.
go. I mean Cyborg it's not fair to say because he's like
Yeah,
how he
he's a
is.
cyborg.
Yeah, but I feel like those two like I think that's a reflection of the mentors where it's
Hmm.
like we because Diana like say what you will, but she's kind of just as bad as Bruce when it comes to like having sidekicks.
Hmm.
And
I'm not gonna fight you on that.
And so that makes sense that they're the only two not in like, you know,
Hmm.
I'm gonna use some military lingo, like their civvy clothes.
Yeah, they're not in civs. I love
But
Wally's
that
just chewing
is
on a sandwich.
uh-huh.
But
So is this did Wally just forget about his kids or something? Like what's going on with Wally?
that's what's really funny. I guess he just because speedster, he can just speed to the tower and go back. So I guess because it's funny because in the first issue of Titans, the current run, they kind of make a mention like, "Oh, we're all living at the tower except for Wally, who's living with his family." And I was like, "Good. I'm glad he's living with his family. Get the kids out of that tower. Eventually, that tower is gonna blow up. So I'm glad him and his family are out of there. You know."
Like, didn't, like, Deathstroke nearly, like
Yeah,
didn't
he
he run
blew
a
up the
whole
last
coup?
one.
Yeah.
So they just don't take care of their fucking giant team, man.
See, say what you will about the Justice League. Yes, the fucking space tower is always getting invaded, but at least it's consistently there.
Yeah, it's there and it's safe. And if it gets destroyed, it's destroyed for a while. But we're excited. We go to the page, we get the translation. Those words, Starfire is freaking out, and oh, shock, twist, he's speaking ancient Tamarinian. And I think that's part of the secrecy, that you don't know what he's saying. Like, it's only
Mhm.
Starfire's POV. So they call Oracle. Where's it going? And we flash back to the moon, and we do get a translation. What you were saying earlier, in the upper west, death to the goddess, death to Exhal. I believe
Mhm.
that Exhal is like the Tamarinian god. I think it's something that Starfire will say in the comic sometimes when she's like angry or she's surprised. She'll be like Exhal, like oh. So I think that's their god. I'm not entirely sure. If you're a new reader, it might be a little confusing if you're just like, who is that?
Mhm.
But Brother
Because I had no
Eternity,
fucking idea who they were
yeah.
talking about.
And he's like, oh, that's not my name. And then it's oh, he's evil, surprise.
Mhm.
We cut to the next page, and I love the Titans are already ready. They're on the move. Nightwing's like, you know what? Nightwing's here. He's just to give them directions. He's not here to actually
Yeah.
do anything. He's just like, go that way. We're gonna go this way. We're gonna go that way. And then Shock, the leader. I'm trying my best to like Beast Boy. I am a Beast Boy hater. I like him a little more after this issue, but I'm a Beast Boy hater. Beast Boy goes, oh, the leader of a cult turned out to be a bad guy.
Yeah, I
Kind
thought that
of,
was just kind of lazy writing right there.
like, what a surprise, like generic writing, which isn't, it's not bad, but it's just like, it's
You could
not
do better,
bothering me.
Tom.
Yeah,
You do
come on,
better.
Tom. But everyone changes. I do like Cyborg because he can just boom tube them anywhere they need to go. That's very
Yeah, that was
useful.
cool.
Because you can always have Raven teleport, but I love his boom tubes that will like get them to. They're literally traveling to another planet. That's great.
Mhm.
So we cut to the next page, and of course, if you ever feel you interrupt me earlier, if you ever feel interrupt me, you want to say, just go for it. What did you think of this little Beast Boy Raven moment right now?
I thought it was cool, but
Mhm.
it's just like I okay, again, this is probably because I just jumped into this
Mhm.
issue. But I'm like, why are they being like so fucking emo with each other right here? Like, I get it, but
Mhm.
also too, like this just kind of gave away the ending for me because it was
Yeah,
just
it's
so
it's a red flag.
yeah, it's very much like that those moments in anime where it's like, man, after this, I can't wait to go back to school
Yeah.
and tell my girlfriend how much I missed her.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, okay, so this motherfucker's gonna
Yeah, you're
die.
about to die. I see it.
Yeah, so I saw this, and I was like, okay, one
Mhm.
of the two is about to fucking die. It's just who is it gonna be? And I was like, come on, dude, like you couldn't have just made it more obvious. And I didn't really care for it too
Mhm.
much just because I don't know, it's Raven's hair is just so fucking distracting. Like she has like a 40-year-old mama haircut on like a 20-year-old's face, and it's just so weird. Like her whole like
Mhm.
that's I just can't get over her fucking face.
They're actually, since that, because the colored hair is new to this series, there was a bit of discourse on comic Twitter where they're just like, why does she look like this?
And then on top of that right there, like I get that they're both the
Mhm.
same age, but this picture dead in the center, Beast Boy looks like a groomer. Like he looks so much older than
Oh
her. He
my
looks like this
god.
sleazy man, like
It's the
grooming a
mutton
fucking
chops. It's the mutton chops.
yes. It's just
I hate those
I
fucking
just
mutton chops.
I was just like man, like I'm like
Mhm.
I need a card G. Like I need to pull her aside and be like, hey, when did you guys like
When you
when
guys
did this?
meet,
Yeah. Are you
like,
okay? Do you need help, Raven?
like Raven, like blink twice if you need me to get away from him. But it's the comics. You never know anyone ages. It's so weird. If they say they're an adult, they're an adult, and you just kind of have to
Mhm.
accept it. Beast Boy and Raven have this. I'll say it's a little sweet. The sweet moment where she's just like, "Oh, I watch your back. Oh, you don't need to. No one's ever done it before. Well, I will now." Like they have it
That's
that.
just so bad writing. Like,
You know what
oh
it
my
is?
god.
Tom Taylor on Twitter, he said he wrote this to be as new reader friendly as possible.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's just set up for people that haven't really seen the relationship in action, you know?
Okay.
So I think
But
that's what
even
it's
then,
for.
I saw that and I was just like,
Mhm.
oh, come on, bro. Like,
But they send out the four flyers. Titans go, and then we cut to. I love this dynamic page of all of them, like God, like they're voguing out of the boom tube.
my biggest thing was I was like, they
Hmm.
all just ran there. Don't they like don't they need to breathe oxygen? And this immediately answered my question. I was like,
Hmm.
okay, I guess they grabbed a bunch of fucking oxygen masks
Yeah,
when we didn't see it.
that's very funny because I literally saw someone on Twitter complain like, "Oh, where's Raven's oxygen mask?" And I
Oh
was just
shit, I
like,
didn't even realize that.
"Bro, she has a fucking magic. I don't know what to tell you. Her eyes are glowing. I don't know, magic. That's all I gotta say." I feel like it's a little too nitpicky, but they show up. They're reading strange gravitational waves coming off the moon, so they head over to the surface. And astronauts, well, they're dead. What are you gonna do?
Mhm.
But there's this weird
That's why
shit.
that's another
Mhm.
reason too why I didn't care how the astronauts looked. I'm just like, I knew they were gonna die. It wasn't. I was like, I'm not gonna get attached to these guys.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about them too much. But Raven's kind of doing her empathic thing. She feels a pulse, and suddenly this it's a heartbeat. Oh no, what's going on? And we cut to another page after their expressions, and they fly up. Everyone's shocked, but Starfire knows what it is, and we find out that it's not a moon, it's a prison. And what do you think of this? What do you think of the art here? What do you think of
I
the
did.
monster? What do you think of
I
it?
liked this. It was
Mm-hmm.
very like Godzilla coming out of like the ocean sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big kaiju fan. I love kaiju's, and this was just that. It was just give me monster, give me giant monster destroying fucking the world. I love it. You know, I'm always a fan of that. And this
Mm-hmm.
was cool. This kind of showed like the level of threat that they were facing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get into it once we get to the next panel. And this was one of my issues that like I had. Again, this is me kind of like nitpicking,
Mm-hmm.
but keep on. So
Hey, we're comic book fans. All we do is nitpick.
yeah.
That's all we do. But this huge thing, I love the spread. I like the art a
Uh huh.
lot. It's this very much like this gritty kind of detail into it. I really
Hmm.
enjoy this thing bust out. I do enjoy that Starfire's just like, we gotta leave. Nope, we gotta
Hmm.
go. And Donna's just like, what are you talking about? And Starfire's like, let's get the fuck out of here. I gotta go get a book. So
Hmm.
so she goes, they leave so they can go to the library, and then we have a
All right.
big shot. Everyone's here. Okay.
This is my big gripe. Okay.
Tell me your grape.
Okay. I'm like one, Nightwing. You're the fucking son of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Two, Cyborg. You were in the Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't run into a problem head first,
Mm-hmm.
because then you run into shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And what did they need? They needed to go back to the Justice League and tell them for this. I'm like, you guys are smarter than that. You guys should have fucking went to them first. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you should have just said, hey, Superman, come real quick. Or
Mm-hmm.
like, fucking Bruce, what do you think about this? Or Diana, literally any of them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they are smarter than that. And that's what you get for running into a problem head first like that. Like, they didn't think it out. And
I,
it clearly showed right there. And I hated that.
I will say that they're in their defense, because from what we read, they weren't there to go fight a bad guy. They were there to go save the astronauts. Nightwing was like, "Go get those astronauts, come back." So I'll say that was their mission. They were gonna grab the astronauts and dip, I assume, or get a recon. But I will say they were going to rescue, and I'm assuming Nightwing was calling all of these motherfuckers while they were out doing stuff.
And also, too, why the fuck is he a monkey all of a sudden right now?
Garfield,
Yeah.
he does that. He'll turn into animals randomly. That's just his vibe.
And this was the first time I learned his name was Garfield. I never knew his fucking name. I'm like, he's named after a
Yeah.
cat. I'm like, I could never take you seriously now.
And what sucks is because of copyright, I doubt he'll ever turn into a Garfield cat. Missed opportunity. But we have the big moment where, oh, everyone's here. That's how you know it's serious.
Hmm.
And I think this is just another tangent. We're doing tangents all day. Do you think they talk about when they all gather who can fly and who's staying on the ground? Because like half the people can
I think
fly.
this is like concert rules. It's
Uh
just
huh.
like you get there first, you get the best seats. And
Mm-hmm.
these like Hal Jordan, Starlight, that's her name, right? No, that's fucking the boy.
Stargirl. Stargirl.
Stargirl and the
They got
Titans
there
girl.
first.
No, they got there last. They
Okay,
all
they
got
got
there
their last.
last.
Well,
Yeah.
Donna, where'd you go, girl? You were there
Exactly. Yeah, they
first.
all got there last. She went to the restroom. She was like, "Oh, I got plenty of time to take a shit." And by the time she came out, they all fucking pulled up. She's like, "Oh, now I gotta fly."
I would believe Hal Jordan would be late.
Oh, Hal Jordan would be late to his own fucking
100%.
funeral if he
He
could.
would be.
He'd either be too busy trying to save the universe or trying to destroy it. No in between.
100%. After we get the group shot, we get some lore that I really enjoy. Starfire is like, oh, 30 million years ago, the Tamarians tried to fight this guy. We lost half our people. I think that's really interesting. And they find out that they didn't defeat it. It was Starro.
I did like that.
I did like this. I like this little lore dump. I like Starro. I do. I think he's cool.
Star was really cool. I like him a lot, especially
Hmm.
they did like Justice No Justice, I think it was called, or Justice No Surrender. Do you
Yeah,
remember that one?
it was
Where
something like
Starro
that.
like saved the universe.
Yeah, and then we got the little baby boy Jaro.
Is that where Jaro came from?
Yeah, that's where Jaro came from.
Remember that? Okay.
You know what? We haven't seen Jaro in a while. If he doesn't come back in this series, then what was the point of it? Tom
Listen,
Taylor.
what's gonna happen is that
Okay, tell me.
here's exactly what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Okay, so in Batman's current storyline, that dude is fucking he's okay. I'm gonna
He's like
make a
mentally
completely
fucked up
side.
right now. Really
Yeah, he's
bad.
mentally fucked up because he has another Batman persona in
Mhm.
his mind. That's basically the Frank Miller Batman. That's the only
Mhm.
way I could simply explain it. And he's throwing hands with everybody.
Mhm.
And I'm convinced that he has Jaro somewhere in the Batcave, and he's like, "Fuck it, go kill Nightwing and go kill them all for me." And that's where Jaro's gonna come back.
Jaro pops out with a little assassin outfit and swords.
And knowing how manipulative Bruce is, Jaro will fucking listen to him.
Jaro calls him dad already, so.
Exactly. See, he got the hard work done. All he has to do now is fucking
Oh
release him.
my god! Can we just talk about Jaro for the rest of this issue? No, but we return to the comic. They talk about how the Dual Conquerors fought. Star retreated. This thing called the Necrostar was weakened, and then the Tamarians froze it into like a prison, sent it out to the cosmos. I think it's interesting that this thing, the Necrostar, is just kind of more. It looks just like Starro, but more fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is
like a
like
Super
this.
Saiyan Starro.
Yeah, I was about to say like the Starro who laughed. Just this,
Into the Starroverse.
into the Starroverse. But Superman decides to do something, and he looks into the sky, and he's like, "Oh shit, it's an hour away." And this interaction, we get a little brief moment between Batman and Garfield. What do you think of it?
Because my first thought was like the same thing as Bruce. I was like, all right, just get Starro. There you go, problem
Mhm.
solved. And then they're like, no, we can't bring Starro. I'm like, did you guys not remember when he saved the fucking universe? Like you guys are holding a grudge.
I will also say is that I don't think they said Mr. Terrific says we need a universe-wide search for Starros. They don't know where he is.
Oh, okay.
So Mr. Terrific says so. I think that's why
In my defense, I quickly skimmed through this.
it's
in order
okay.
to-
I know. We were joking earlier about me forcing Lewis to this. It was quick, but Garfield's like I have an opinion, and Batman's like what? You have a suggestion, Beast Boy? What is it? What you're gonna make a fart joke?
I
Beast Boy?
do
What do
I
you
do like the next panel or the little box underneath it
want? Mhm.
because it just shows like he's a kid.
Yeah,
It very much
everyone's
shows right
judging
here.
him.
And he like you see the Trinity and you
Mhm.
see I don't know who the other guys are behind him.
I think that's literally Terrific and Red Hood, maybe.
I,
Actually, I don't think that's Red
and
Hood,
that's for
actually.
sure. That's for sure terrific. But
Uh-huh.
I don't know who the other like two are back there. But I do like this where it's like the adults are talking. Shut up.
Yeah. And the thing about Garfield is that even as an adult, he's still very short. So that just sucks to be him. He's a short king like me. But next page, Raven kind of sticks up with her hot topic hair. And she's just like, it'd be a shame to lose our whole planet because of your negativity, Batman.
And see, this is where like one of my main gripes comes with comics is that there's
Mhm.
no fucking fluid storyline at all in comics.
Mhm.
So I'm like, man, if this was PTSD Batman, everyone would have been on the floor fucking
Yeah.
beat it and
No.
bruised.
He would have just started beating the shit out of Garfield for speaking up.
Yeah, exactly.
So we
And
can
then
assume
Damien
this
would
takes
have came
place
out the window
before. Yeah,
and started doing some horrible shit too.
Raven gets up and Damon's just like, nope, and he just jumps on it.
Yeah, see, that's all I could think of in this part right here because I was like, the Batman that I'm reading, this
Mhm.
motherfucker's he's a straight up bad guy, and
Yeah.
and I'm like, where's that Bruce right now? Just let him out, let him out.
But I guess we that's where the timelines are always different. So
Uh-huh,
it's I guess this is more relaxed Batman.
uh-huh. It
And
was
I
just a whiplash for me. That's all it was. I was like,
yeah,
oh, he's actually like listening to people right now.
like because he does not do that in the comics right now. But
uh,
I do like Raven's little clap back. She has a little bit. She's like, "Oh, don't speak him to a child. He's not like one of your Robins." Like
see
that's
right
not.
here, I thought for sure Dick would have said something.
I thought so too, but Dick's just like, I grew up with this. I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm not.
Yeah, like I thought for sure.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, it's like one of those things like no one talks shit about your mom, only you get to talk shit about your mom, or like something like that.
Oh
Like
no, Dick is fine with everyone talking shit about his dad.
that that's why I was just kind of
Mhm.
like I was like, huh, that's interesting. He just kept his mouth shut the whole time.
I will say a fun art thing is that while Raven's kind of lecturing Batman about treating Garfield not like one of his Robins, behind Batman is all the Robins.
Yeah.
You have Duke, Tim, Stephanie, and Damien and Cassandra, like all the fucking Robins right there. So I think that's funny. But at the bottom of the page, he's like, Nightwing, this is your call, this is your team. And Nightwing's just, that's my Batman voice. Enjoy it.
I feel like
Uh,
he was just I feel like he just disassociated
yeah.
that whole thing.
He's just like, you know what? I'm fucking, you run
He's
it.
just
I don't
thinking about his
care.
dog that he has to he's like, did I feed my dog?
He's just like, it's Bat Cow fed? Fuck, I don't know. Alfred's not around anymore. I don't know.
Is
But
Alfred still dead?
he's still dead. Yeah.
Okay. That
But
explains why Bruce is all crazy in the comics right now.
oh yeah.
There's no
But
Alfred to fucking check him.
but Nightwing says, I trust my team. What do you want to do with Garfield? Garfield's like, take me to the ocean. And you know, he looks kind of young in this page. At the end of this page, he looks a little younger.
Hmm.
I know that's what you're talking
But then
about.
the
But
picture
it's the
right
mutton
above
chops.
him,
It's the mutton chops. I can't.
and then Raven, get over Raven's. Like I'm afraid I sound like a misogynist right now because I'm like,
Mhm.
this woman doesn't look good, but I'm like, God, bro, they really fucked up her design, you know?
I know some people were upset on Twitter just because Rave.
She looks so
Uh,
much older right there too.
mhm. It's people on Twitter were upset, especially because Raven has a lot of Indian not middle, like Eastern influences on how she looks. Uh,
Currently?
no, when
Or
she was first conceived,
oh, okay, okay,
you know,
okay, okay.
like the head jewel and the clothes she would wear. It was
I
very
never
Indian
put that
inspired.
connection.
So it was that and the hot topic hair that got people a little annoyed, but I'm fine with it. It's fun to poke fun at though. But
Hmm.
cut to the next page. I love this. I love this page where you have all the heroes going up and the Necro start coming. I like Starfire front and center. I think that's really cool.
Hmm.
And you got all the flyers in the air. They're gonna go buy time. And cut to the next page, and you see that all these like anti-Jaro things are flying in the air. And it's always funny to me to see these street level heroes. Like, are you gonna kick these things? Like,
Yeah, she's gonna beat the fuck out of them.
like you see them throwing batarangs, but how many batarangs do you have on you? You know?
Like the one right there, he's like reaching his hand up right there. Like you clearly like, what are you gonna do with that guy? You're just gonna beat the
Yeah.
shit out of him, or like stick your hand down his throat? Like there's only so much you can do, Bruce.
I guess it's just like, oh, they're gonna try to separate the infected from the uninfected. I guess I
Like,
don't
yeah,
know.
what is that Nightwing? What do you do in that situation, man? Like you're just literally a dude.
Yeah, and
Albeit a guy who
mhm.
could fucking do a million kickflips, but
You
you
know
know,
what? They're there for PR.
the
Because if the
dude.
camera doesn't see them doing shit, they're gonna be like, "Where was Batman? Where was Nightwing?" So they're just there for the PR. They're just there to look good in front of the
I like to
cameras.
think they're literally just swinging back and forth, doing the same thing. Yeah, that's literally all. And Bruce is like, "Come on, guys, you know the drill."
And it's funny because right below the Bat family fighting, you see Starfire actually doing shit and blast them out of the
Yeah,
air. And
like
you get the super
Wally can
fam.
do his little air thing. You
Mhm.
know, he can do that. He can like phase through people and stuff.
Yeah, so they're actually doing the real work.
Hmm.
And then we cut to Cyborg, Raven, and Beast Boy. Beast Boy's plan, I thought it was interesting. He wants to have a big brain capacity, so he turns into a whale so
Mhm.
that his brain can operate on like the highest function. And we cut over to another panel. No, this I never particularly cared for them, but I will admit this next page kind of got to me.
Oh, I didn't give two shits about this page right here.
But for our listeners slash watchers, Garfield's like, oh fuck, it hurts a lot, and Raven's just like, oh, I'm here with you, baby, don't worry about it.
Because
And
there was
mhm.
no context behind this.
That's you'll find it out later because you're supposed to be like, oh, what the fuck what is he doing? Like, what is he doing? And I think it's a sweet moment, especially because Raven's not telepathic, she's empathic, so she feels feelings, and she's like, oh, I'm taking some of your pain, and I think that's kind of sweet. I'll say it's kind of sweet.
I don't know. I was like, come on. I was like, okay. I was like, what? Why are they being emo all of a sudden?
They're that
She
emo
fucking,
couple.
she like invaded his mind out of nowhere. Like,
No, she's there to help.
I don't know. But listen, if it was me and I'm like, okay, the fate of the universe rides on me, stay the fuck out of my head and just let me focus. I need to just be drilled in.
You know what?
So,
Some people need to be left alone, and some people need help. It's just.
and so when I saw this, I was like, okay, I was like, boy, get your head on straight. You're a fucking
Mm.
superhero. You're like a fucking Omega level superhero. You're supposed to like.
Never call Garfield Logan a fucking Omega. Don't give him that credit. Don't
All
give
right,
him
he's
that.
around Omega level superheroes. He should know how to behave like one, you know?
But you know what? That's the thing about Garfield. He's always been a man child. He's the guy who I was about to say something really bad. He like can't let go of things. He was a child star. So he's like stuck in those glory days. So I think it's interesting that
You
he
know who
does need
was
that help.
too? Was
Who?
Plastic Man. And you don't see him ever doing
Oh
shit
my
like
god. You
that.
know what? Plastic Man went to jail. He grew up fast. He's fine.
Yeah, I saw this and
Hmm.
I was like, okay. I don't care about this. There was no context behind it. He's just in his head.
Hmm.
Like I'm like, it would have been nice to see him struggle with this a little bit more. But I felt like
Hmm.
they just fucking no foreplay for this. They just went straight in. And it was like,
Sometimes that's
okay.
fun.
Yeah, but see, it just I didn't like it.
You know what? And
I
that's
didn't care for
perfectly
this.
okay.
Uh-huh.
I will say this might resonate with me a bit more because I am reading the Titan series,
And that's
and
something, yeah.
mhm. And that's something that's a bit more repeated. Like you see moments between them where Garfield's having some mental issues and Raven's being there for him.
Mhm.
So, but I understand as a new reader to this new version of the Titans to this new event, it might not come across as hard as it could for someone like me who's read it.
Mhm.
So we have this semi-sweet moment. We'll hold each other, and then what do you think of this panel? I really enjoyed it.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, is he turning into
Mhm.
some like Resident Evil monster right now? What's happening?
Oh
I
yeah,
just had more
fucking
questions than anything right
a
here.
giant eye, a tentacle. Like he's doing this fucking John Carpenter's The Thing type shit right now. He's like, uh, and we cut to everyone fighting in space.
Mhm.
Shazam gets a little necro. He gets a little
I
necro
was
in his throat.
in my head too. I was like, of course it's gonna be fucking Billy. If anyone's gonna get fucking turned, of course it's gonna be
Oh
this
my
dumb
god,
motherfucker.
a fucking Billy.
Like the one power they're like, all right, let's keep our mouth shut. The one guy who power revolves around him fucking speaking is the
Hmm.
one who's gonna get caught. I was like, come on, bro. I was like, shame on you, Justice League, for bringing a kid out here to this fight.
You know,
No,
I
not
have
Justice
not.
League Titans. Shame on you, Titans.
Hey, they wanted to help. You know what? We're gonna be at the Titans press meeting. They're like, "Why'd you have a kid on the field?" Um, Billy Shazam is not a member of the Titans. He was not there with our permission, and is gonna place the blame. But he gets infected with a Necro Star, and he starts punching Wonder Woman.
I
A
did
little
like that panel. I thought that was a cool picture.
misogynist, a little bit.
I was like, all right, now it's getting good. I'm just kidding.
But after he punches Wonder Woman, we have a little green Starro. He's like, "Let's see what we can do about that," and he jumps into his mouth, and he kind of
Yeah,
just.
that that whole page was really cool because I feel like it's like a whiplash of emotions.
Mm-hmm,
Like if you go back,
mm-hmm,
like you see fucking Shazam just fucking like check the shit out of Wonder Woman. You're like, oh
mm-hmm.
shit. And I joke about him, but he's also like one of the most powerful guys in like
Mhm.
DC continuity. And then immediately that threat gets like as quick as he becomes a problem, he gets saved. So I did like
Yeah.
that a lot.
You make like a quick left and then you go back right and you're like, what's
Hmm.
happening?
Hmm.
And page after that, Garfield Starro just jumps in. He like yeets this creature out and slices it, I guess.
Hmm.
And I think I got this. And then a bunch of green Starro is like, hey, Necrostar, get your ancient evil ass away from my planet. Which is, I thought that would be cheesier, but rereading it, it's not that bad. It's not
Hmm.
the worst thing it could have said, you know.
Hmm.
And that's how it comes to all of these Garfield lines. But what do you think of this page? I think I
I thought it
enjoy
was
it.
cool because this like gave me more implications.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just distracted by like my thoughts now at this point. And I was like, wait, if he can turn into Starro, does that mean he like and he has like the powers of Starro?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, can he turn into Superman? Can he get the powers of Superman now? Like,
Mm-hmm.
can he turn into like fucking Cyborg and get Cyborg's powers? Can he turn into Dark? Like that's all I kept thinking about
Mm-hmm.
after that. I was like, okay, they set a new president for his power. Like, where's the power cap? I
Mm-hmm.
want to see how far he can push it.
And
Because
you,
Starro, like,
mm-hmm.
you need the whole Justice League to get rid of that dude. He's
Oh
a
yeah.
threat when he. So that's what got me thinking. I was like, he's arguably well, no one's stronger
Don't
than
say it.
Superman,
Don't
but
say
like
it.
but he's arguably stronger than like Wonder Woman and the rest of
Ugh.
them, you know.
I
So
don't
I
like
was,
giving Garfield any credit. I don't like it.
but that's all I could think about
That's
right here.
true. Yeah.
I was like, where do you, where does a writer decide now? Like I'm talking to
Mm-hmm.
you, Tom. How far can you push
He's
this?
listening to this for sure.
Yeah, like how far can you push this before
Mm-hmm.
like Garfield becomes too OP?
I think that is the restriction of animals because I guess Starro's technically an animal. I guess so. I guess that's sort of the restriction of it. I will say
Uh
this
huh.
alien creature that he had to go into the ocean to get a giant brain to figure out mentally and intellectually how to shift. I thought that was an interesting thing for him to do. And in the Titan series, once again, it's kind of a little something they've explored because there was a thing where he turned into a bunch of bugs, and I forget who it was, but they're just like, hey, so is each one of those bugs him? Like, what happens if one of them dies? That's a concept that was thrown in the Titans book that I thought was interesting, and it's
Hmm.
something we see next when we jump to the next page, where he's just like, I'm Garo, and they're doing this big fight, and it's pretty cool. He's taking the Necrostar away from the planet Earth, and we see Garfield just helping the planet.
Like
Uh,
Nightwing was just picking up a random fucking damsel in
he was
distress.
getting her number. He was like, "Yeah, so what are you doing
Yeah.
after this? Oh, you're gonna be a furry? Oh, nice, me too."
Like what's Bruce doing right there?
He's just posing for the cameras.
Just JoJo posing the whole time.
No, he's just posing. But I think it's interesting. What is it? What does he say? He says, "I'm very aware of how many people I'm inside right now, and it's all incredibly gross."
I thought that was a fun line.
I did, and Raven's like, "Oh, don't think about it," and he's just like, "It's
Mhm.
impossible because my brain is the size of a country." And I think that is
Yeah.
interesting. I did like what you say because I try not to think about Beast Boy at all if I can. But what you said about his powers evolving and what the limits are, this is I think the greatest thing he's ever done, frankly.
Mhm.
Because usually you see him
Because
turning into like a
like a
penguin or like
gorilla
a
or some
bird,
oh,
yeah, or a gorilla. And you know what? I want to also say shout out to Cyborg because after Beast Boy takes this bad guy out to space, Cyborg opens a giant boom
like boom
tube,
tube.
which is insane. I didn't know he could do that. I thought they were little tiny boom tubes, but he opened the boom tube the size of a continent. Beast Boy pushes him in to the
I was
coldest
thinking
place in the
too right here.
universe. Uh
I
huh.
was like, since Cyborg is like inherently tied to Darkseid,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Darkseid's probably getting a little tickle in the side of his brain right now. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
They get
Like,
like they get text notifications. They're just like,
yeah.
"Oh, Cyborg just boomed to Jupiter. Fuck, what is he doing in Jupiter again? Like, what is he
And then
doing?"
when this happened right here, I was like to think he just like got a fucking text from fuck. Do I need to like do I need to get my army ready right now? Like I'm in my fucking Sunday pajamas.
Like he turns on like the hidden camera he has on Cyborg and it's like, "Oh, he's taking care of it. Okay, I'm good." Puts his pajamas back on. He's like, "All right, all right." But I do like this plan. They send him to a coldest place in the universe to freeze him up. He's
My whole thought right
mhm.
there, I was like, oh, I can't wait to see this guy in like another 20 issues.
Oh yeah, he's gonna come back.
Yeah, because that's exact. I feel like that's
Mhm.
exactly what they did. Like if they wanted to kill him, they would have killed him.
Yeah, this very much was like, because
Let's
I
throw
think
him in
this
the
plan was,
corner.
yeah, let's throw him in the corner and worry about him later.
Uh huh.
But they manage, they do it, and they throw him in there, and Garfield loses an arm. But this is a really great, honestly, if the Titans can pull this off, it'd be kind of one of the greatest superhero feats ever to happen. And that's the end of the comic, right? They win. It's a one issue event,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what happens,
So
right?
one and done.
No one and done. Unfortunately, no. We say hello to
Yeah, I
this.
don't even know who the fuck this dude was.
Fun fact: you don't really have to know him. He's just a bad guy, but he spin out of the end of that nightmare event.
Oh,
You
okay,
remember
okay.
that where everyone was
The
having
one that was so
nightmares and they're
pointless.
real? Yeah, that for some reason, even though it was a horror event, came out in the summer. It should have came out in October. I don't know why it didn't. But yeah, this evil bad guy whose design I do like, Doctor
Hmm.
Hate. He has like this cool black
Such a
flowing
stupid.
cloak. It's, you know what, Garfield says the same
That's
thing.
like the equivalent of Doctor Evil. Like,
Garfield says the same thing. He's like, Garfield Logan, I am Dr. Hate. And Garfield's just like, what is that? What are you talking about? Like, just talking shit too. And they do the thing where he takes off his helmet, and Garfield's like, how is it you? And then they put it back, and we don't know who it is. And frankly, I don't care who it is. I don't know who would.
did they ever answer the question of like who the new like X was in that Titans run or Titans Academy?
Mm,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, I do. The Titans Academy was one of the students. I think his name was Brick, but they never gave the identity of like the true original Red X.
Okay, okay, okay.
I have mixed feelings about Titans Academy, because I didn't like the book, but then I found out the creator was gay, so now I have to like him just for
It's
just for my brand
for
image,
solidarity.
for solidarity. I bought his Green Lantern book. He has Green Lantern, and I was like, fuck, I have to support and buy it now.
You don't even read Green
I
Lantern.
don't. I really don't. Oh, it's not even the Green Lantern I like. But let's get back to focus. Tim Sheridan, if you're listening, I'm sure you're nice. I just didn't care for Titans Academy. Next
He's
page.
like, I don't like you because you're gay. I don't like you, and you just so happen to be gay. Okay.
You know what? That's equality. That's real equality.
That
America.
reminds me of that line and
Mhm.
fuck, what was it? It was like 21 Jump Street. He was like, "You hit him because he's gay." And he was like, "No, I hit him, and he just turned out to be gay."
I criticized him, and he just turned out to be gay. They're not
Yeah.
related. But I think it's interesting. Dr. Hate pulls out a tiny little Hot Topic skull, and he starts shooting it. And this, I know you don't care about them, but Beast Boy crying out Raven's name in the middle of space is kind of getting to me. I can admit it.
No, my thought, I'm like,
Mhm.
boy, you're a fucking god right now. You could like put up a fight. Come on, dude. Don't like go out
Like,
swinging.
shoot out some spores at him or something. You know.
Like we just saw you do that right now. Like fucking, you find that energy in you to keep fighting. You know.
You know what? When something doesn't make sense, you know what you do? Blame
Hmm.
magic. It was magic. You couldn't move because of magic.
The Force.
The Force. Imagine fucking Luke Skywalker shows up right now.
And
So
then Loki comes up with the TVA
no, stop.
and it
Oh
cleanses the
my
timeline.
god. uh, Lewis and I do a podcast on the Geek Press, and every once in a while we bring up the fact that we're just gonna merge every Marvel Disney property together with the TVA. So that's just, oh my god. Link for that will be below in the description if you want to hear more nonsense. But Dr. Hate, he does a bit of posturing. He's like, why'd you fight for humanity? And Garfield's just like, I just wanted them to be better. And he does a bit of a Spider-Man, like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And then we get a bit of a reveal. If you don't know the character, this kind of tells you a lot about him. At the end, he says, Amanda Waller says, thank you, Garfield Logan,
I
and
thought that was cool.
goodbye.
I was like, oh, what's this bitch doing?
And you know what? If it wasn't for her, they would have won. That's the thing that sucks so much. She just really
As
is
much as
just,
I don't like Amanda Waller,
mhm,
I love her character at the same time because she's
love to hate.
always there. Yeah, she's always there in
Hmm.
some way or another. What if it's Superboy?
Oh, why?
That's that's the only person I could think of. Like he was a member of the Titans, wasn't he?
I guess, but it just makes no sense.
I mean,
Okay.
he was part of the suit. Well, it wasn't technically.
I think you're just naming a Titan you knew.
And the only one I know that could like just
Yeah.
nilly willy fucking go to
That went
space.
evil a little bit, yeah. But he says Amanda Waller says thank you, Garfield Logan. He does some hippity hoppity magical stuff. And see, this is the panel I was talking about where her face is looks weird to
Yeah.
me.
Uh,
Black and Bloodhaven, Raven's like, I can't feel his mind.
you get how Bruce doesn't give two
He doesn't
fucks what's
care.
going on, right?
He doesn't. This whole comic, he has not cared.
He was like, "Oh, the person who fucking questioned me died." Oh, okay.
You know what it is? It's when they pay an actor to be on a show, but they don't care about it, so they're just there for the money.
Uh-huh.
That's Batman right now. He's just like, I'm just here to help sell the comic. I'm not here to do anything. And it's funny because Nightwing looks upset, and even Barbara Batgirl in the back is just like, I'm not a Titan. I don't care.
This ain't my team.
This ain't my team. And we get more expressions. Nightwing's like, Cyborg, what's happening up there? Cyborg's knocked out. A shadow fell over North America. The mind of the boy was lost. All that remained was the beast. Now, this is another full page spread that I really thought was really freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because, he has a bit more pointed things. I guess what Dr. Hate did was just erase his mind, his consciousness. I'm not sure. Right? Is he under control? I guess that's for us to find out. For me, I don't know if you're willing to read another issue, but for me, it's to find out whether or not he's under control or if he just is mindless. But I thought this was a really cool page,
Mm-hmm.
But after he's looming back to Earth, Garfield's racist, so he goes to Kahndaq first. And he starts
To the Rock.
to the Rock. He goes to find the Rock, and he starts spreading those. Wait, oh my god, he's not Starro. Is he the Necro guy now? I don't know.
I think he's Starro.
He's
right?
still Starro, but
I mean, they're kind of like one and the same. We kind of.
yeah, he looks a bit like a merged version of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he goes to hang out with the Rock, and he jumps in him, and
then the Rock is like, "Buy my energy drink,"
and then he turns into a furry. And now
and everyone around him too.
everyone turns to a furry, and that's the end of the issue. Oh my gosh. I thought it was funny because I watched this YouTuber who like recaps the comics, and I put in the comments, I was like, I'm not sure why anyone's a furry, but it was fun to read. And somebody responded, they're like, oh, I think they turn into animals because they're responding to Garfield's power to
Oh
turn
yeah,
into
no
animals.
shit, Sherlock.
I didn't think that. I was just really confused. I was like, why is everyone a furry? But now everything makes sense.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
it's
that was
okay.
obvious.
I'm dumb. But anyways, yeah. What do you think of the issue overall, Lewis?
I give it 2 Titans out of 5.
Oh, I give it. The thing is, I'm so biased towards the Titans. I can't give it an audit rating because I'm just I can't give it an honest rating because I'm just happy they have an event. You know what I mean?
They always have an event. What are you talking
Never.
about?
They so don't.
Yes, they do, and
When
it's
was their
always
last
around
event?
Nightwing.
When was your last
It was
event?
it was fucking when the Justice League died.
That wasn't a Titan centric event though. That was just
That was
the
a
whole DC
Nightwing, and so by
universe.
proxy, it's a Titans fucking event.
No, that was
Yes.
Nightwing was heavily featured.
That
But
was
it
a
was also
Nightwing
John
story.
Kent.
So
It was a big
so-
John Kent thing too.
and isn't he a part of the Titans too?
No,
Yes.
no. He was in like
He's
2
probably-
issues of the Teen Titans, and that's it.
Nah, see, that's a Titans run. That's a Titans.
No, but okay, but I will say that I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was paced really well. I'm excited to see what happens next. That's what I'll say. I'm excited.
You
I'm
know,
interested
I'll
to see what
say-
goes next.
I'll say this: they need to get rid of one other Titans member. I don't
Mhm.
know who. Yeah, get rid of Gar. You already got him, and bring back in my boy, fucking what's his face?
Garth Aquilad.
No.
Who?
Wally fucking killed him in cold blood. What was his name?
Oh shit. I genuinely.
God
don't
damn
remember.
it. Arsenal.
did he-
There we
Oh,
go.
Arsenal. Arsenal's back alive. Bring him back in. I will say that solicits for future issues of the Titans do not have Beast Boy on the cover. So, I mean, fingers crossed he's dead or gone. I don't know. You know what? They probably won't kill him off. He'll probably be like in a coma or something at the end of all this, you know?
Mhm.
But yeah, I enjoyed the issue. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was engaging. I know that if you're in the mindset of what Lewis feels, that's totally valid too. Because I saw a lot of people online who liked this issue and a lot of people that didn't. So I get it.
Yeah.
Did I sound too bitter? Was I good?
Nah, you sound a little condescending,
No,
but it's
okay.
okay.
All right, I'll try again.
But I come to
Love
expect
that
that
for
from
you.
you when you talk about the Titans.
I'm just excited. Oh my gosh. But thank you so much for
Mhm.
reading this with me, Lewis. I very much appreciate it.
Of course.
Any last words on this comic before we wrap up?
You guys should go read Task Force Z, with Jason Todd in it,
Yeah, I heard good things
and
about that.
it's really good, really really good.
Really good.
If you want to read a story about an angsty boy who has daddy issues, that's your story.
That's my life.
Yeah, and then whoever's running the Jason Todd tie-ins with DC right now, you
Mhm.
better count your fucking days because I ain't gonna buy all those comics to see how his story concludes.
Oh my god. You know what?
It ended when the Joker saved him in that burning fire. I ain't gonna buy the Joker comic to fucking do that. I ain't gonna buy a Catwoman comic to see more of his story.
You gotta get the trades. That's what you gotta get it with.
No,
everything
I
in
will
it.
not spend $20 for one fucking story. Okay, this is a hill I will die on. And I
Mhm.
know I'm only hurting myself by this, but I am not gonna do that. So whoever's running that, better count your fucking days. I'm coming for you.
That's just the comic industry. You gotta go after the whole industry, man.
You hear that, Mr. Comic? I'm coming for you. And
You're
you
that
too,
Tom
Mrs.
Taylor.
Comic. You're not safe.
We're coming for you, Tom.
Tom's safe. He has nothing to do with Red Hood.
Oh, that's true. What if he brings him in as a Titan?
Jason's too emo for Taylor.
You know, I think Jason should build his own team. Bring back all his friends.
He
Artemis,
does, and then they all fucking
Starfire.
get killed.
Yeah, but like all together. Starfire, Bizarro, Artemis, Arsenal, like all of them on one team. I think that'd be cool.
Nah, I think. Listen, okay, I've always said this.
Okay.
Jason is good
Mm-hmm.
because of all the people around him.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do too much of that, you're gonna fuck it up.
Okay.
Like you gotta. Task Force is a good point of that too. Anyways,
Mhm.
okay, that has nothing to do with this.
We're so off topic.
But I think this was. I didn't really care too much for this one, and again,
Mhm.
a large part of it because this issue expects you to know certain things. It expects you to know like like the dynamic of the team, and I don't really know the dynamic of this.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I had read a story with Wally, that dude fucking killed Arsenal in cold blood.
Not
The
a good look for
last
him.
the last time I read a story with Nightwing, he was getting his ass beat by Batman. And I don't even know when the last time I read a story with the rest of the team in it. Like
Yeah.
so yeah, that's my whole thing. I'm like, I don't like I know you said Tom Taylor made this one like new, like easy for newcomers, but it's just how
But you
can
didn't get it like that. It didn't come
Mm.
across that way.
No, and like I didn't know who that big baddie was. I just assumed my first glance when I saw that, I thought that was like an evilness that took over Cyborg until I saw Cyborg just
Mhm.
floating in the back. And I was like, who the fuck's this guy?
Yeah,
And
all
it
you
just
really
kinda
know
left me with
about him
more
is that
questions.
Amanda Waller sent him. That's all you really know.
Uh-huh.
And then it's also like, well, what does Amanda Waller have to do with anything?
Mhm.
So I totally get that. But yeah, no, you have some valid points, and we'll see if they
Mhm.
answer some of those questions in the next issue or if they just keep going forward. I will be
Mhm.
present, but Lewis, if people want you present in their lives, where can they find you?
That's where you
In
can
that
find me.
burp.
No, you
Oh
can
my
find me
God.
on the internet. My @ is the same on every social media platform. It's I'm Luis Gutierrez, and you can find my work at IGN.com, where I do news and guides, but I'm finishing up a guide for Call of Duty. And you can find my work
Hey.
at GameSpot.com, where I do a lot of news stories and help keep the ship afloat by putting content out there.
Hey.
So yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, you can watch my streams, which I stream on the weekends at twitch.tv/I'm Joshua Joestar.
Hey, and you can find me at I won't burp because I can't burp. But you
Yeah, I'll
can
burp
find
for you.
me thank you. Please burp for me. Oh my god. Sorry guys, that was a crazy burp from me. But you can find me at Noah is Garcia on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and a third place, fourth place, I can't remember. You can find my photography on Noah Garcia underscore photography on Instagram, and follow this YouTube channel on youtube.com/Noah is Garcia. I think that is. I don't know. We'll have all the links in the description down below. Goodbye. Bye.
Adios.